Hey guys, welcome to another update on the 20-gallon mini Dutch tank. We're going to go through some changes I did in week, I believe, 6 and 7, and we're coming on week 8, so check it out. So we did a few changes on the tank, moved stuff around and added some new plants. Here's the tank at 6 weeks. I purchased some light risers for my Phoenix lighting as I thought that was the problem that was causing the hair algae. Before the lighting came in, I found out that the problem was actually I was not injecting enough CO2 and that my dosing was very off. I corrected these two problems, and within a couple of days, I started to see the algae go away. I did, however, decide to keep my light risen for another reason, which I'll explain later on in the video. In this area of the tank, I took out the group of scarlet temples and just kept a few stems and moved them in front of the myicas. This is because the scarlets grew a little slower than I wanted to, so I moved the ammonia into the corner instead, as it has a faster growth rate. Here I just moved some of the blixas to fill out the center more. As you can tell here, I moved the Cabomba from the middle to the corner where the hygrophilias were. I ended up throwing the hygrophilias into the grow-out tank to save it for my 40-gallon project. Here's the reason why I moved the blixa and the Cabombas. I ordered some Nymphaeas and Lobelia Cardinalis from Planted Aquarium Central. The plants came in okay. The Nymphaeas took the blunt of it all, but the Lobelias came in much better shape. I went ahead and prepped the plants and added them to the tank. And here's the tank after the new plants have been added. The next day I did end up pulling out all the Nymphaeas to pull out all the melted back leaves, just to give the stems a little more push in growing new leaves. This also helps in preventing the dead leaves to rot in the tank. And that's where we come up on week 8. A couple more days and then I do a water change. I'm going to have to do some trimming, especially on these crazy dwarf sag. These dwarf sag are just going out of control. It's nuts. A couple of days after planting the new plants, I went in and did a trim on the stem plants in the back, mainly on the Rotalias and the Myicas. I kept the lights risen mainly because the stem plants was growing really weird by the time it was getting to the top. About 2 inches from the top, when the lights was not risen, it was sitting on the rim itself, it was just growing all sporadically. I wanted to grow a little more straighter before it got to the top and then just kind of bush out from there. So hopefully raising the lights will keep that from happening. Otherwise, it's about a week later, so let's check out on the Nymphaeas and Lobelias and all the other type of plants that are in here right now. As I said, these dwarf sag are going out of control. These guys are nuts. In this kind of environment, they just go crazy. The baby tear / pearlweed in the front is going crazy. We'll have to trim them on Sunday. So here's again the patch of the dwarf baby tears. Now it's a little patchy in areas because I had to pull out the stupid runners from the dwarf sag that are getting into this patch. So it uproots the HC here, so I don't know. I'm going to let it grow out, trim it, and hopefully try to keep the runners from disturbing this patch. The S repens here are growing really nice. I love the carpeting effect it's got going on here. And wow, when it really fills in, it fills in. This is definitely going to be for sure in my 40-gallon tank. I love these S repens. Now here's the Nymphaeas that came in a week ago, and again I tried to save them. There was a lot more stems, but I ended up with about 8 or 9 from the batch that made it, and they are recovering really well. You see the new growths on top, so hopefully these will fill out that little area there and become, that whole nest of stem plants that's going on in the background there. Now the Lobelia Cardinalis is going great. These came in okay, but then when I put them in the tank, let it go for a few days, it just exploded. I've already split stems from it to propagate it, so that area is going to be full of the Lobelias and it's going to look great. I've also added a dwarf lily here, and I'm not sure. I just pulled out from my grow out tank. I just got a couple of bulbs about a few weeks ago and I split them, and they grew like crazy in my grow out tank, so I just grabbed them and put them in here. And let's see how it works out. Maybe it'll look great in this tank where it's at. Now this group of Ludwigia peruensis or granulosus, whatever you want to call it, is growing excellent. I love it. It's filled out. It's so pretty. I love this plant. It grows slow though, so that's why it's looking really good as a mid-ground plant for this tank. So let's see where this goes. It looks great in this tank. Now, here's my main problem. Maybe you guys could help me out here. This is Cabomba, all right? Cabomba is either easy to grow or hard to grow, depending who you talk to. For me, it should be easy to grow. I had this in my 120 gallon 13 years ago, and this thing grew into a bush in that tank. In that tank, I had high lighting, about 3 watts per gallon. I had CO2 going. I was poor man dosing that tank, so it just grew, exploded. In this tank, I don't understand. It is not growing. Whatever I do, I cut off the tips, I move them, I just left them alone. They are not doing jack. So I don't know what's going on. I think it's the ammonia. I mean, there's no ammonia in this tank, because mainly the only ammonia that's coming from the tank is probably from dead leaves, and there's not that much going on. I don't have livestock in this tank yet, so maybe it's that. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what's up with the Cabomba, so maybe you could tell me, maybe you have some clues. Let me know. Let me know how you're growing them in your tank if you have any. And that's it, guys. This tank is going really, really good. The CO2's dialed in, the lighting's great, filtration's going. It's probably cycled. I have to test it, but it's been a long time. It should be cycled, even an official cycle. I put in the Daniels to cycle for the first week, but I took them out, if you remember. So even with that, it should be cycled by now. And I'll figure out what to stock with the tank. Maybe I'll make a video and then kind of, vet you guys into what you think should go into this tank. That'd be kind of cool, right? Whether or not I'll go with it, I don't know, because some of you guys have some really off-the-wall suggestions. And no, Jason, I'm not putting a Pacu in this tank. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this update. Hope you're liking this tank and where it's going. Also, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel for more aqua goodness. And then like this video if you like how this tank is going. That'd be great. Other than that, that's it. I will talk at you guys later. See ya.